What's going on, guys? Mr. Brickswag back here with another video. This is going to be a continuation of the, I guess, AT-AT expansion, if you want to call it that. Again, I love the UCS AT-AT, one of my favorite sets of all time, and since it only just recently retired, I've been trying my best to get hands on sets that would be good at accompanying it, and so that's why I have the set that I have here today, which is the Hoth AT-ST from 2022. Now, if you look at my previous videos, there was a video of me reviewing a very similar set, another AT-ST, which is the one from The Mandalorian. However, this one is a more classic version. This is from episode 5. So the one in Empire Strikes Back, the one that's on Hoth that I guess assists with the AT-ATs, destroying the rebel troops. So very awesome there. Again, I like the OT a lot. Those are the best movies for sure. I do like the prequels as well. I have a soft spot for those, but obviously the OT is where it's at. That's the OG. And this set, sorry, just for some reason shoved that out of focus. This set is definitely a great example. One of the classic vehicles on there. I don't think it has much screen time, at least not compared to the AT-AT. But this looks awesome. I believe that this is pretty close to minifigure scale. So it'll look really nice next to the AT-AT. Hopefully, and again, I want everything to just be in scale, and that would be great. I'm trying to find a snow speeder that's in scale too, so if you have any recommendations for that one, please let me know, because I've been trying to look for one, and I'm just like, all these snow speeders, I don't know if they're exactly right, but yeah, again, in the comment section, if you have a recommendation for a good snow speeder set to buy, I will happily shell out, I don't know, let's say $100 for it, so. Speaking of $100, this set, I think, cost me about... So it cost me $65 on eBay before shipping, but it also came with an extra Snowtrooper battle pack. I don't know, this seller did a really interesting deal. There's a lot of those combo packs going around where it has this plus the Hoth battle pack, but for some reason this guy decided to sell them separately. Maybe he couldn't get the one from Walmart in his hands, so instead chose to do this instead. I mean, whatever works for him worked for me. I wanted to review the set separately, so this works out very well. But anyway, enough talk, enough chit chat. This looks like a very cool set. I did really like the Mandalorian AT-ST build, as you guys know from my review. It was absolutely an amazing build. So definitely recommend that one, and hopefully this one will be just as good. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it now, and then I'll review the set after I'm done building it. See you guys. Alrighty, guys, so looking at the bags here, we have 4 numbered bags, again, same as the one from the Mandalorian. Got this very cool box art here. Really looking forward to these minifigures. Can't wait to review those. And then we got a couple features here, so I'll go ahead and review those. Again, I'm guessing it'll be similar to the Mandalorian one. Got an instruction manual right here, very cool looking. And yeah, 4 bags. Again, I've played this game before. I know how this goes. This is going to be the bottom mechanism. You're going to build this one up, build the 2 legs, and then build the outer plating. So it's going to be pretty straightforward, but definitely really looking forward to the minifigures in this one. I'm very excited, and it will go great with my AT-AT, I'm sure. So I will tune back with you guys after I finish the build. All right, guys, so finished the build of the Hoth AT-ST. Total build time was about 2.5 hours, so I don't know if that was about on par with the Mandalorian AT-ST, but I think it was about the same, roughly speaking. Pretty fun build process overall. If I had to give the build process an overall rating, I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's the same score that I gave the Mandalorian AT-ST, and just a very fun build overall. A lot of really cool features that we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, really fun build process, so definitely like that. Now, taking a look at the minifigure lineup here, we have 3 figs, and then also 1, I guess, like buildable figure is what you would call it. Starting with the traditional minifigs, first we have this Chewbacca, and I think this is actually an exclusive figure, which is really cool. You can see he's kind of covered in snow here, which is really neat. Other than that, it's a pretty standard Chewbacca figure. Has his little crossbow here. You can use the stud shooter here to go ahead and shoot. So I'll go ahead and try to fire off something right here. Oops, yep, that fired, but it went somewhere random. I'll have to find it eventually, but pretty neat feature there. Then you have the second minifigure, which is the Hoth AT-ST driver. pretty cool. He comes with a little blaster pistol, and then I guess this is a radio thing. It's the same one General Veers had, so I'm not sure what the heck that is, but it's pretty cool. He's got some leg printing, not arm printing, sorry, torso printing. He has some back printing, pretty cool, and just, yeah, a cool helmet and everything with some printed glass on there, so pretty neat. Very standard figure, nothing too special, but I think it looks good. And then you have a Hoth Rebel Trooper. She does not have any leg printing, unfortunately. She does have some torso printing, very basic. I don't know if she has any back printing. I don't think so, but either way, it's covered by this backpack anyway, which is the neat feature. She has this little hat on her with the visors, and these are actually, you can actually move these down, so you can place them one place below, and then you can have it cover her face, which is pretty neat. So that's pretty cool there. And looking at the faces of these guys, so I just took the two helmets off. You can see here, I demonstrated what I showed earlier, so you can put the little visor on there, and it kind of covers her face like that, which is pretty neat. What I did want to show is that these people do have dual-sided heads, which is pretty neat. He has one as well, pretty cool. Obviously Chewbacca doesn't, because that's a little molded piece, but yeah, very neat regardless. Now taking a look at the final kind of minifigure in this lineup, I guess. You have the Imperial Probe Droid, which actually looks really, really sick. I'd love to do a short, maybe a short video of a comparison of this one versus the giant Imperial Probe Droid one day. But this actually looks really, really cool. Very accurate. Yeah, it's great. Looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah, no, it looks absolutely awesome. Love this. Boom. Very, very detailed. Love the build on this, so yeah, looks awesome. Now, taking a look at the build itself, looks really great, to be honest. So we'll start with the general aesthetic of the build. So starting at the bottom, unlike the Mandalorian AT-ST, this is actually a very symmetrical build, so I think both legs are pretty much built the same way. I don't know if there's any differences, but as far as I could tell, they're built kind of the same way. They look really, really great, absolutely fantastic. Again, there's some techniques showing, but that's kind of how it is with all these AT-STs, as I've noticed. Maybe the one that's coming out this year won't be the same way, but this one looks really great. Has this nice little detail here. Love the way they did the kind of toes. This looks pretty sick. Love the color scheme on it. It's very gray, but there are some touches of tan, I guess, to spice things up, and a little bit dark gray. Love the way they did the joints. Very cool there. You know, some detailing here. Same detailing on the other side. And taking a look at the base, you know, you got some greebling detail here. Again, it's not completely symmetrical. This one has a little great piece on there, while the other one doesn't. Looking at the top portion here, again, pretty cool. You got these two, I think, are printed pieces, which is pretty cool. Got some detailing around here. I will say, I'm not sure if this is just me, but this looks a little bit small compared to the Mandalorian. I have to do a side-by-side comparison to really get a look, but this looks a little bit small to me, which is, unfortunately, I don't think it looks that great. I think it's just supposed to be a little bit bigger, but it does look pretty good, I would say, in terms of color scheme and the way it's built and everything. But I just don't think the size is as good as I wanted it to be, which is a little bit unfortunate. But you know, you make do with what you got. Looking at the final, I guess, piece of detail here, the greebling here, pretty sick too. Got these two pieces that they used to create that. So yeah, pretty neat overall. I would say I do like the aesthetic of the build for sure, especially from this front section here. Looks great. There is a little bit of gap in between here and again the Technic pieces, but aside from that, no major complaints. Looks pretty good overall. So do like the detail. It is a pretty standard AT-ST compared to the Mandalorian one. It is, you know, very unique color, I guess, mostly gray, but it is very, very nice. So I do like it. Now, given that this is somewhat of a play set, I guess it's, you know, worthy to look at the play features on these things. You have the same leg articulation feature that we had on the Mandalorian AT-ST. I'm not going to do it here because it really only goes up, and you kind of don't want it to go up. You want it to have this slight lean forward. So, you know, I'm not going to change that too much, but just know that you can adjust this one. Again, it's a little axle that it goes up a little bit, which is, I guess, fine. Now the main, again, feature on this, as with every AT-ST, is this rotating thing back here, which is pretty cool. This one actually allows for 360 degrees of motion, which is very, very neat. Love that. You got these 3 weapons in the front again. This one is a very standard cannon that just kind of goes like this. This one spins this way, pretty cool. And this one spins this way. Don't love the weapon choice on this. It looks kind of just silly and small. This one does look pretty cool. And I do like the front cannons, but I just wish this one was a little better. But regardless, I think it's probably accurate to the movie, which is why it looks like that. But I'm just not the biggest fan, unfortunately. Another play feature, I guess, or just feature in general, is you can lift the top of this. So there's actually some space in here to put your minifig and to clip his gun and his radio, which I'll do in a second. And there's also a spot to lift up right here so that he can kind of peek out, which is pretty neat. So I'll go ahead and put the minifigure in there and show you guys what that looks like. So this is what it looks like when you put the guy in here, the AT-ST driver. Pretty cool. I clipped this gun this way. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to put it, but it looks like it fits, so that's good. And the same with the radio there. Pretty neat overall. It fits in real nice. You can kind of close it and it looks like there's no one in there, but then as soon as you pop this one, you can kind of pop in and see that he is in fact in there. So yeah, pretty neat overall. Definitely a very big fan of kind of the features in this set. It's really neat. Oh yeah, also if you like, you don't have to have him sitting there. You can have him in this configuration, standing. In this configuration, I do not believe you can close the lid all the way unless you put it like this, but that's kind of a way to put it so that he can actually be peering over the top. I don't know if that's intentional, but it is a pretty neat feature, I guess. So yeah, pretty cool. And you know, again, if he's standing up, you can kind of see his full body from there. So yeah, pretty neat. If I had to give this set a rating overall, I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. It is a very great set. Do really like it. It's not the perfect set, you know, again, there's some minor flaws here and there, but aesthetically it looks really good, at least from the front angle. From the side, it does look a little bit smaller, which I'm not a fan of. And again, there's a few minor aesthetic flaws here, but you know, I feel like those are commonplace with the AT-STs in general. You know, you kind of have to compromise sometimes, you know, stability for, you know, aesthetic and stuff like that. There's some trade-offs when you make the designs, but overall pretty good. I really like the minifigure lineup. I really like the way the thing looks, all the play features. It is a pretty neat set, and it pairs very well, I think, with the AT-AT. So stay tuned. I'm gonna probably make a future video just with my entire Hoth setup whenever that gets done. I think it should be pretty dang close to done. I gotta figure out if I want to buy some more stuff to accompany, but you know, we'll figure that out, and hopefully I'll have a video released soon. But in the meantime, if you like this video, please leave a like. Please subscribe to my channel if you really enjoy my videos. Leave a comment down below talking about you know, what you'd like to see in the future, your thoughts on this video and everything. And stay tuned to Mr. Brickswag for more LEGO Star Wars videos. See you guys.